Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. 我是 Red, and today we're tackling one of those subtle, sneaky differences that Chinese textbooks rarely explain well. Have you ever said this? 我看过一次. And then later you say this. 我看过一遍. You probably thought, wait, both mean I've seen it once. What's the difference? Is one just a regional accent? Or maybe I'm overthinking this?Well, you are not overthinking, and they are not the same. Here is the reality. If you tell your Chinese friend, 我看过一次 about a movie, they think, okay, you've seen it one time. Maybe you watched the whole thing, maybe you didn't. You just attended the viewing. But if you say, 我看过一遍, they think, oh, you sat through the entire thing from start to finish. The full experience, all of it.One is about counting an event. The other is about covering a complete sequence. And that difference, completion versus occurrence, is going to change how native speakers understand you in huge ways. Today we are going to crack the code on 次 and 变. By the end of this video, you will never guess which one to use again. Before we get into the nitty-gritty,If you love this kind of deep grammar breakdowns and want to support me making more of them, I have a coffee page where you can buy me a coffee. It really keeps this channel going. Link is in the description. Alright, let's settle this once and for all. Here's the secret. These two measure words operate on completely different dimensions. 次 Counting occurrences. 次 counts the number of times an event happens. It's purely about frequency. When you use 次, you're saying this activity happened X number of times. It doesn't care about how much of the activity you did. It only cares about how many times you did it. Examples. 我去过上海3次. 我去过上海3次. I've been to Shanghai 3 times.You went to Shanghai on 3 separate occasions. That's it. 他吃过一次火锅. 他吃过一次火锅. He's had hot pot once. The event of eating hot pot happened one time. Maybe he ate a lot. Maybe he ate a little. It's just one occurrence. 我看过一次那部电影。我看过一次那部电影。I've seen that movie once. The viewing event happened once. Did you watch it all the way through? We don't know. You just attended one screening. Think of 次 as a tally mark. Each time the action starts, you add one tally. It's purely a counter. Now 变 counting complete circles. 变 counts the number of complete circles of full rounds of an action from beginning to end. When you use 变, you're emphasizing, I went through the entire process, start to finish, one full round. Examples. 我把那本书读了3遍. 我把那本书读了3遍. I read that book 3 times from cover to cover. You read the whole book, all pages, 3 full rounds. 这首歌我听了一遍又一遍。这首歌我听了一遍又一遍。I listened to this song over and over again. Each 遍 means one full playback of the song from the first note to the last. 他把课文背了5遍。他把课文背了5遍。He recited the text 5 times all the way through. Each recitation was a complete run from the first sentence to the last.Think of 变 as a full lap on a track. You start at the beginning, go all the way around, and cross the finish line. That's one 变. If you stop halfway, that lap doesn't count as a complete 变. Now the $1,000,000 question. Can you use both for the same verb? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Let's categorize verbs into 3 groups. Group 1, verbs that take both.But meaning changes. The classic example is 看 to watch or read. 我看过一次. The viewing event happened once. 我看过一遍 I watched or read it all the way through once. Same verb, different focus. Another example, 读 to read. 我读过一次那篇报告 I read that report once. The event happened once. Maybe I skimmed it. 我读过一遍那篇报告 I read that report once from the first word to the last word. I finished the whole thing. Now, group 2, verbs that only take 次, not 变. These are verbs where the action cannot be completed from start to finish because they don't have a fixed sequence or a defined beginning to end structure. Like 去 to go, 来 to come, 吃 to eat, 喝 to drink, 买 to buy. You can say 我去过北京3次 I've been to Beijing 3 times. But you cannot say 我去过北京3遍 This makes no sense. Going doesn't have a cover-to-cover circle. Similarly, 我吃了2次药 I took medicine twice. Right. 我吃了2遍药 Sounds bizarre. Taking medicine isn't a read-through activity. So remember, if the action is about movement, eating, purchasing, or one-off events, you are stuck with 次. Group 3, verbs that often take 变, action with sequence. These are verbs that involve processing content in a linear, sequential way. 读 read, 写 write, copy a character. 唱 sing, 放 play, audio or video. 走 work, a route. 背 recite, like 他唱了3遍那首歌 He sang that song 3 times, each time from verse 1 to the end. 我把汉字写了一遍 I wrote that Chinese characters once. I went through the whole list, stroke by stroke. Some of you might think, but I always use 过 with this. Does 过 change a rule? Well, 过 marks an experiential aspect. Have ever done something. It doesn't care about 次 versus 变 at all. Both are perfectly natural with 过. Like, 我看过2次. I've seen it twice. 2 events. 我看过2遍. I've gone through it twice. 2 full rounds. So the 过 just says, I have this experience. The 次 and 变 are doing the counting work. They are independent of each other. So you can have combinations like 我去年看过一遍三体 Last year, I read or watched 3 Body Problem once, from cover to cover. 我今年看过2次电影 This year, I've watched movies twice, 2 separate outings. Perfect logic, no contradictions. Now let me paint you a real-life situation where the difference completely changes the conversation. Scenario, you and your friend are discussing the famous Chinese novel 红楼梦 You say, 我看过那本书一次 I've read that book once. Your friend thinks, okay, you picked it up once. Maybe you read this first chapter and got bored. Maybe you flipped through it, but you probably didn't finish it because 红楼梦 is huge. Now imagine you say, 我看过那本书一遍 I've read that book once, cover to cover. Your friend's eyes go wide. Wow, you actually finished the entire 红楼梦. That's impressive. See the difference? One sounds like you attempted it, and the other sounds like you conquered it. That's why choosing the right word makes you sound like a native speaker who pays attention to detail rather than a textbook robot who just translates once. Mistake 1. Using 变 for movement verbs. The wrong sentence. 我去过上海一遍. Correct one. 我去过上海一次. Why? Going to a city isn't a complete wrong. It's just an event. So use 次. Mistake 2. Using 次 when you want to emphasize all the way through. So the wrong sentence, if you want to show completion. 我把课文背了3次. This just says you recited 3 times. Maybe you kept stopping and restarting. Better one to show full rounds. 我把课文背了3遍. This says you did 3 complete recitations from start to finish. Mistake 3. Forgetting that 变 implies a beginning and an end. You cannot use 变 for actions that have no natural end. So the wrong one, 我等你一遍. Waiting has no start to finish circle. Correct one, 我等你一次. I wait for you once. Or this one time. Now let's log this in. If you need, please feel free to take a screenshot. So the ultimate rule. 次 counts how many times you did it. 变 counts how many full rounds you completed. If you're talking about going somewhere, eating, or buying, use 次. If you are talking about reading, writing, seeing, or watching content from beginning to end, use 变. Or 次if you just means the event. And that's it. The difference between 次and 变 is all about completeness. 次is a tally counter for events. 变 is your lap counter for full rounds. Next time you are talking about a movie, a book, or a song, ask yourself, am I just telling them I did it? Or am I telling them I completed the whole thing? That will tell you exactly which one to use. Okay, if this breakdown made things click for you, please hit that like button and it helps other learners find these deep dives too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss the next one. And please remember, if you want to support the channel and help me make more of these grammar deep dives, a coffee goes a long way. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. 再见。